Blessings, family. This is another moment in mastery. Moments in mastery is simply that, where we're going over some form of issues, things that we encounter day to day that we need to master. And so when we're talking about mastery, talking about you identifying what you're stuck with, what's stopping you, what's blocking you, and studying on it. And the mastery is you mastering yourself. So if you've watched some of the other videos, if you haven't, go back and go through Masternomics and watch some of the videos, right? Because we focus on mastering thyself, mastering yourself, and particularly, got tongue tied, mastering in a business setting or in a professional setting or in the setting of you being an entrepreneur, of you mastering yourself. How can you master yourself, master your business, um, master making income streams or whatever income stream you have to take your life to the next level? Because that's what business should be about. That's what your life should be about. It should be about advancing yourself. The time that you have here, the time that you're here on this planet, how can you advance? How can you excel? How can you get to the next level in life? And so that's what we focus on, and that's what we're talking about, right? So for my entrepreneurs, for my people that do not have a business, you might work a 9 to 5. For those that are in business, but you're struggling, this is for you. This information is for you. So when we talk entrepreneurship, we talk it on a high mental and spiritual level, right? So entrepreneurship should be freedom, right? Starting your business should free you. It should free you from what? Free you from poverty. It should free you from the lack mindset. It should free you from saying certain words like I don't have, I can't. How, you should ask questions like, how can I do it? You have to start using your higher mental faculties, and that's what we're dealing with, right? So I like to address different questions that come along. And in some ways, we all go through this. I myself been an entrepreneur my whole life, as you know, but constantly we're always upgrading. It's just like a computer, just like that software. You got to upgrade. Sometimes you get on your phone and it says, well, I got to upgrade. You got to upgrade. You got to upgrade your thinking. Because where you was 6 months ago, you should not be in that same place. You should constantly be moving. Because the only thing constant is change and movement and vibration, and that is universal. That's law, right? That's law. So, and you'll notice when we talk business, we talk a lot about using absolute, which is law. Law is, right? We talk about how to use these universal laws, like the law of vibration, which says everything is in constant motion, right? The law of cause and effect. Nothing just happens, there's a cause, and then there's an effect. And you looking at your life, if you're not happy with the money you have, if you're not happy with the money you're making, if you're not happy with the results you're getting in business, guess what you have to do, right? You have to change something. It won't change unless your thinking changes. So we're going to get into a little short presentation to help shift you to get to another level of thinking. Because that's what it is about: shifting our thinking, um, shifting our understanding of things, and getting to the next level. Right? We got to get to that next level to get where we want to be in life. Right? So Masternomics, this is what I call the money motion circle. What you're looking at, right? Masternomics, right? You see different forms of mindset, right? You see the mindset of an investor, an employee, business owner, self-employed. All of these are mindsets. All of these are mindsets. right? An investor thinks a certain way, an employee thinks a certain way, a business owner thinks a certain way, somebody that's self-employed thinks a certain way. And some of you are shifting, you starting off from that right side. You've been an employee your whole life, but now you want to make some more money. Now you want to get your life to another level. So you got to shift and you say, well, I want to start my own business. So now you're shifting to self-employed. But guess what has to shift? Your thinking has to shift, right? And so some of us are struggling with getting started. Some of us are struggling with, how do I start the business? How do I even take that first step? You take that first step by changing your thinking. So you got to understand what? The law of abundance, and stop living in limitation. A lot of us, we live in lack. What does that mean? A lack mindset, a poverty mindset. There's a lot of us that are living in a poverty mindset. Poverty is just that. It's thinking there's not enough, I'm limited, and thus we live our life like that. And most people don't even start something that they want to do to create another revenue stream. They don't even start a business, right? They are really scared, and they say they're playing it safe by just sticking with their 9 to 5, and they never do anything for themselves. Some of them live 60, 70, 80 years of their life and never do anything for themselves because they live in lack. They live in fear. And we've been programmed to think like this. We've been programmed to live in lack and fear. But we got to shift our mind and shift our thinking. The world has changed. Everything has changed. So how do you shift from that lack, limited mindset? You shift to an abundant mindset. You stop looking at that glass half empty and you start saying the glass is half full. It's about your perception. How are you looking at the world? How are you looking at where you're living, right? Understand this. The law of abundance says there's more than enough energy, money for everyone who knows how to acquire it and keep it. Let's hold that part right there. So whatever it is you're needing, and a lot of times because we're talking about business, we're talking about changing your financial situation, we're talking about money, right? Somebody that lives in lack, which a lot of us have been programmed to live like that, we think the first thing we say is, I would start this, but I don't have no money. Well, you're stating something, and that what's coming out of your mouth is becoming your reality because you think you don't have the money. Then you say you don't have the money, and you physically do not have the money. That's living in lack. But the law of abundance says there's more than enough energy or money for everyone who knows how to acquire it and keep it. So the money is there if you know how to acquire it. So the question is, do you know how to acquire money? Everyone knows the easiest and lowest and non-mental way, and that's to work for somebody and trade your time for money. So you do have some knowledge of it, and most of us stay on the low vibrational level of just trading our time for money, which means I'm going to give you 8 hours or 12 hours a day, and you're going to pay me. But what's happening in that? My life, I'm losing my life. You only have so much time in your life, right? Statistically, they say, well, if humans live to be 70 years old, then that means you have 4,004 weeks to live. Think about that. 4,004 weeks to live to be 70 years old. Wow. When you really look at it in that aspect and say, I got 4,004 weeks, and life starts to look a little different, right? It starts to, you start to think like, wow, if I'm living in the understanding that I will die, that's what you know for sure. All that other stuff you believe in, right, is what somebody pumped into you. But what you know for sure is you're alive, you're here right now, and guess what? You will leave this physical life. That's what we know for sure, right? So now, how do we acquire more money? There's more than enough money or energy for everyone who knows how to acquire it. So we could shift our thinking from thinking like an employee that just says work for somebody and say, well, how can I acquire it? We know for a fact there's people that don't live that live and make a great, tremendous living and running the financial world, and they don't work for people. They don't work a 9 to 5. So guess what? nine to fivers or people who have not made that decision yet to do something for yourself. You know that that type of living exists. So the only thing stopping you is you and your research and your study, or you're watching classes or podcasts, just like what I'm talking about right now, and shifting your thinking and getting involved, right? So you got to learn how to acquire it, because once you realize it can be acquired, then the desire and the will kick in and you'll learn how to acquire it. And that's what we're talking about, how you can acquire it. By the end of this little session here, you're going to know the key to acquiring more money. Because guess what? Money is being printed right now. The money, the paper, fiat currency that we're using is being printed right now. In the United States, they say, I think it's 554 million notes are printed every day. 554 million notes or dollars are printed every day. It's being printed for something. How can you acquire it? How can you tap in, right? You tap in by shifting your thinking, and then you'll shift your whole mindset, and then your actions will follow your thinking. So you'll pick up better financial habits. You stop wasting time. You stop living like you're going to live forever, and realize that if you live to be 70 years old, you got 4,004 weeks. What you going to do this week with your life? Because wherever you're at in life, you know, your weeks, they're going down, and your life will end. What are you doing with your weeks in your life? All right. So there's more than enough energy, money for everyone who knows how to acquire it and keep it. So how do you learn how to acquire it and then keep it? We make a lot of money, but how much money do you keep? Out of the paycheck you have, how much do you keep? Business owners, out of the money you're producing, how much do you keep to turn into more money, right? We live in an abundant universe in which there is sufficient money, energy for all who really want it and are willing to obey the laws governing its acquisition. So if you live in the United States, or a country similar, or whatever country you're living in, your country prints money, right? So you have to figure out, how can I get more of that? Because they're printing it, and they're printing it for human use, for us to use it to buy things and pay for things, right? So you got to learn how to acquire it, keep it, right? Because there's no limit to how much money you can make if you live in a free market, you know, society, or capitalistic society as we living in, right? So you got to learn how to tap in. But first, you got to realize there's nobody stopping you but you. There ain't no man, no little dude with a pitchfork, no little guy that says you can only have this amount of money, and these people over here, they're going to get all the money. Get that belief system out of your head and realize it's an abundant universe, and tap in, right? So tap in, right? And that comes with you. So what we're talking about is you being conscious, right? Conscious. We throw that word around so much. What's conscious mean? To be aware of, responding to one's surroundings, to be awake, to be aware of and responding to one's surroundings. In my spiritual studies, in my spiritual classes, I say, well, that response to something is the divine part of you. It is the intellectual being of you, not to react, but to respond to a situation. How are you responding to yourself if you're uncomfortable with the amount of money you're making? If you're tired of living check to check, or if you're tired of your business just sputtering along, if you're tired of just being Facebook famous with no money, if you're tired of living and got no assets, if you're knowing that one day you're going to die, you don't own any land, you don't control where you lay your head, you don't control the food that you're eating, you have no control, but you know we live in this finite world right now, right? And you could tap in. How are you responding to those negative situations I just described? Are you conscious, aware of, and responding to one's surroundings? So people that are not responding to the negativity in their life, if you're not responding to the poverty in your life, poverty is not just financial, right? Some of it could be poverty and happiness, poverty in the relationship that we have with, whoever you're dealing with in life, and you're getting bad results. Are you aware of the life that you're living, and are you responding? That's consciousness. Being aware and being able to respond. That's being awoke. Forget all the other junk out there. We're talking about you, right? Having knowledge of something, being aware. What are we really aware of? So we're not even aware of the words that we use and the meanings of the words. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making you aware of who you are. And who you are is a spiritual being having a physical experience. Now, because you're having this physical experience as a man, woman, white, black, red, yellow, living in Ghana, in Africa, in Nigeria, or living in the United States or Europe, wherever you live, you're having an experience in that body, in this shell. Your experience should be exquisite. Your experience on this planet Earth should be rich. It should be fulfilling. And if you're not experiencing happiness, wealth, success, there's nobody stopping you but guess who? The man in the mirror, right? I love the Michael Jackson song. He says, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I would sing it, but hey, I'm not a singer. Y'all be done cut me off. But talking to the man in the mirror to make a change. So when you look in that mirror, what are you conscious of? Where are you living right now? Where were you living 5 years ago? Are you living in the same place? More importantly, are you living in the same conditions? Are you happy with your conditions? Are you happy with your financial state? Everyone's talking about a financial shift on this planet right now. And people was talking about it 5, 10 years ago. Now you're in it. Now you're in it right now. You heard about it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. You're hearing about it right now. Are you really aware? Where do you fit in? If the banking system was to collapse right now, where would you be? What assets have you acquired? How much money are you making? Is all your money going off of looking good in the clothes you're wearing? Is it all just going on the cars, buying some cars, some luxury item that you don't own and you're paying a note on? A bunch of liabilities, a bunch of things that are holding you back, that are stopping you from being financially free. Right? What's freedom? Freedom is the ability to move and go and do as you want to do. It's the ability to if I want to live as long as I can on this planet Earth, I got to eat healthy. But if I got to think about how much money it costs in order to eat healthy, right? Then I got to make better financial decisions. Am I so worried about what's on what the clothes or the car I'm driving in that's on the outside of my body? Or should I be more concerned about what's going in the inside of my body? Because what's going inside of me is going to make me live longer. Because you should want to live longer than those 4,004 weeks. You should want to live past 70 years old. And then the life that you live in, you shouldn't want to live in poverty, right? So what's stopping you from getting started? One of my mentees in Ghana, he always tells me, and we was just in Ghana last month in November, right, at the Cultural Oneness Festival. And the Cultural Oneness Festival is an initiative that we bring diasporans or us of African descent that have been scattered around the world due to, slavery, the centuries of slavery. But we see the benefit and the power of the African continent, right? And so we see the countries developing. And so the Cultural Oneness Festival unites us ancestrally to our ancestral homeland, and unites us no matter where we're living on the planet with that connection to Africa. And it's really about the culture, right? It's to say that we got to stop the geographical division that the countries that was created, right? So, so the festival unites us for that. But more importantly, this festival, it takes place every year, the Cultural Oneness Festival, which I'm the co-founder. Me and my partner, who's a Ghanaian, we started this. Really started the company, The Taste of Africa, in late 2019. And we had this vision of uniting people for economic intention, right? So it's for the intent to create economic opportunities. And what I mean economic opportunities, to make some money. So where us is, I live in the United States, us as Black Americans, we can invest in Ghana. That's the first country we started in, but invest in Africa and help develop and we make money too. So everybody wins, right? So, the people in the communities there, the communities get developed, jobs are created. And for us, that some of us live in the Western world and we came out of, 9 to 5s or whatever and just working for other people. And so now our mindset has shifted and we're like, look, we got to create more wealth to have some generational wealth when we're dead and gone. And this is a great investment opportunity. So this is what the Cultural Oneness Festival did. But that happens with a consciousness shift. So once you shift your thinking, then your actions will follow. And then once you shift your thinking and the actions follow, you start to not only affect yourself, but you start to affect your family and everyone around you. And that is financial literacy. How does money change your condition? Right. So I got to there because I was talking about one of my mentees. He lives in Tamale, and that's in northern Ghana. And he's always like, well, as he calls me Chief, he's like, Chief, um, he has a business where him and his mother, they sell eggs, right? They sell like chicken eggs, right? And he's like, well, we make money, but it's minimal. And I need a new car, I need this and that. How do I get to the next level? Right. And there's a lot of and so I'm saying that to say this young brother who's he might be 23, 24, right? He's having an issue. He has a business, he has a family business with him and his mother, but they're making just a minimal amount. It was good a few years ago, but now they're treading water. They're stuck at that point. And it's so uh, eye-opening that someone who lives on the other side of the world, right, is going through the same problems as, you know, my brothers and sisters right here in the United States. Some of us have these businesses, but we're stuck. Like, how can I get the business to produce more money? Should I stick with this business? Should I start a new business? Right. So his problem is a problem that a lot of us have, and is I'm not making enough money. And so I tell him the same answer all the time when I talk to him. And there's a shift that has to happen in him. Whenever you're not making the amount of money you want and you want more, you become dissatisfied. And so one of my teachers was Bob Proctor. And so Bob Proctor had this saying that dissatisfaction is a creative state. I don't know if if he came up with it, but he's the one that, gave it to me, right? Through my studies. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. So when you're dissatisfied with your life or your business or what's coming in to your life, you're dissatisfied with the amount of money that's coming in. It's not that you're not making money, you're just dissatisfied. You need more and you want more, right? That dissatisfaction has to kick creativity in. And so my answer to him is saying, if you're dissatisfied, you got to get more creative, right? What do you mean creative? Think about the people you serve and say, how can I serve more? How can I serve more people? At the end of the day, your business is about service. You're serving somebody. So I don't care if you're doing hair, I don't care if you're doing nails, I don't care if you're making hamburgers. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're selling sheep, if you're selling goats, uh, you're selling cars, you're selling tires, you're doing somebody's taxes. I don't care what service you're doing. If you want more, then you have to serve more people or increase the value that you're giving those people to be able to get more from those people. So we're talking about serving more and adding value. Serve more people and add more value. Value is what you're doing. Value is how you're serving somebody. Become more valuable. The more valuable you are to somebody, the more money they will pay you, right? People want to be served. the fanciest of restaurants, they give more value. And because they give more value, they charge more money. If you're in a business, right, that you could charge more money, you might be at a limit of, X amount of people. I don't know what the business is, but you could charge more money per sale if you add more value. So you got to say, what more value can I add? Now, if you're at a business that where you can scale up, but you got to be conscious of where you're at right now. That's why the screen has not changed. We're unconscious, aware of and responding to your surroundings. So let's talk about your business. Are you in a business that is scalable? Can your business expand? Can it scale? Some businesses, it might not be scalable. If you are, in particular, we're talking about this young brother's business of selling eggs. Is it scalable? Yeah, there's more people there's how many people live wherever you're at, or how many people can you sell eggs to? So if you're really only selling eggs to the same 50 people every week or every other week or whatever, how can we scale it? Right? We got to serve some more people. So I told him, you got to serve more people and you'll get more money. You're only serving 50 people. How many people live in your area? How many people in your area eat eggs? Right? And wherever you're doing, if you're in a service-based business, if you're doing taxes, if you're doing hair, whatever, how many people are you serving? Can it be scaled? Right? Serve more people. Stop looking at it like a hustle and say, I got to serve more people. You know what my religion is? Service. That's what my religion is. It's service. And I serve religiously. I'm addicted to it, and I live to serve others. Some people are like, what do you mean that's your religion? Because I'm serving other people, and that is my religion. That's my way of life, is service. I have to learn about people. So early in my life, I got certified and got a degree in comparative religious studies. Partly because I wanted to learn about God and higher power in religion, but more importantly, I wanted to know how people think and what they believe. Because if I'm going to serve you, I got to know what you believe and what you think, right? I got to learn aspects of humans and people because I'm here to serve people. Right now, I'm serving you. I'm doing my best at spreading some information and knowledge that should change your life in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And people that come in contact with me, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make your life better by serving you. How do I serve you? I give you information. And my mentees, my students, the people that pay money for the services that I provide, I have to add value or they wouldn't want to pay me. And most of what I give, I do for free. I don't get a monetary, a dollar or whatever for it for most of what I do. I receive it in them spreading the information and it comes back to me. Somebody might tell someone else and they come and they buy a product or service or whatever, right? But I move with the intention of serving others. So you have to grasp that reality for the business that you're in. You got to serve more people, right? Serve more people. And a lot of us are what we consider very good and honest people. But we'll look at other people and be like, man, I know that person. She ain't real. She ain't doing this. I don't know why they supporting her. Because she's getting out there and she's serving people. Her service might not be the best, but you sitting down, watching Facebook, watching whatever you on social media, scrolling all day while they getting to it. And they serving people. Their service might not be the best. They probably haven't done the research what you've done, right? But they're not afraid to do it. So whatever you're doing, serve more people, and it will increase your money, right? It will increase your income, right? Creation. You are a creative being. You were designed to create. What is creation? The action or process of bringing something into existence. So if you was created, you should be creating. And a lot of us say, well, I might not have a mindset to run my own business, da 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 da. But you can create another revenue stream. You can still work because if you got a job that pays you well enough that you can put money and you can do something else while still doing that job and create another revenue stream to help your family, then get creative. Most of us don't use what we have. Our problem is not a lack of money, it's the lack of the knowledge of what to do with the money once we get it. I never had a problem making money, ever. Ever, 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 never have had a problem making money. The problem that I used to have was my thinking. The thinking was a poverty mindset. So when I got money, I would just hold on it so much because I was afraid to spend it. But that fear caused it to go away so fast because stuff just kept happening. Oh, well, I got this money there, and then all my tires are bad. I had to get some new tires. Then this happened, and I'm just afraid and afraid to use the money for what it's here for. The money is to be utilized. The money has to move. So when you hear, rich people, and they say, well, I don't save money. Money shouldn't be saved. What they're telling you is money should be utilized to create more money. The money should go in a motion from somebody else's hand to yours, and you take it, you put it in a vehicle that creates more money. You make the proper investments. That's staying creative. You have the ability to think of ways to change your circumstances, right? Because if you're not creating, then you're disintegrating. It's either one of the two. You're either creating or you're disintegrating, right? Creation or disintegration. Disintegration, the process of losing cohesion or strength. See, we use words, but we don't analyze and break it down and say, what the heck does that mean? If you're not creating, right? And creation is the action or process of bringing something to an existence. If you're not living your life and you constantly bringing something new, you constantly creating something, right? Using your higher mental faculty, you got an imagination and you're not using it to change your life. You just gonna work for somebody forever until you die, hoping that you last those 4,004 weeks, hoping that you live to be 70. And some of us are in the 40s right now, and you're over halfway to there, and you're not being creative. You're not living life to its fulfilled, living a fulfilled life. So if you're not creating, what are you doing? You're disintegrating. You're either moving one way or another. You're disintegrating. And what is disintegration? The process of losing cohesion or strength. You ever seen somebody, or you might have went through it, when you feel broken, feel down, you just feel depleted. You lay down, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I feel like my world is falling apart. My life is falling apart. And that's why I put this picture here. You see the world just disintegrating? That's what's happening in the world right now. People are scared. They're losing, right? And they feel like, oh, I don't know, the economy is bad. The world is falling apart. They're disintegrating. But you know what the rich are saying? You know what I'm saying every day? When I wake up and I look at my wife, I say, man, there's so much opportunity right now. Yeah, but they're saying people losing jobs. Oh, wow, that means we get to create jobs for people? Well, they're saying that there's people that's homeless. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm glad. That's why I got into real estate, because I want to build land and develop communities for people. That's because I think with an abundance mindset. I don't care what they're saying about the economy. They ain't my God. Are they yours? Are you living in fear? Are you worried what's going to happen? Huh? Think about that. Are you worried about what somebody else is going to do? I got no time worrying about what they're going to do because I'm too busy focused on what I got to do. And I look at it as an opportunity. And so as I'm teaching, and if you're an entrepreneur, I'm teaching entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is about what? Solving problems, staying creative, right? Solve the problem of poverty wherever you live. Like I was telling you, being in northern Ghana is a place that needs to be developed. And I see poverty, people living in ways that we call that poverty. Some people don't have the great running water, and that's in northern Ghana. I don't want you to get it twisted now. You know, this parts of Africa is more advanced than the United States. But I'm talking about the developmental aspect, just like going to the hood right here in the United States. Some of us living in poverty. We can go right to Mississippi, right here in parts of Alabama, all over the place. And a lot of us, people are living in poverty. We see homeless shelters. We can go to great cities like LA and see the homeless population. Man, I went to LA. I forgot it was the last time I was in LA. And I'm like, man, people living like this under the bridges. It's like a whole nother world, right? Why people like these opportunities, right? Let's create some systems that create jobs and create the housing. Who the people that are doing that are looking at it as it's an opportunity. They are becoming rich and wealthy. So when you solve problems as an entrepreneur, you're helping somebody, but you're getting compensated and paid for, right? So you got to stop falling apart, stop disintegrating and start creating. Disintegration, the process of losing cohesion or strength. The twin problems of economic failure and social disintegration, the process of coming to pieces. So there's a twin problem: economic failure and social disintegration. You put those two together, that's disintegration, right? Economic failure and social disintegration. And that's what's happening in society today. People are losing it. Their world is falling apart because they're allowing their world to fall apart. They're not realizing who and what they are and why they were put here. You weren't here just to be acting a fool and dancing all day and making babies and not teaching them and raising them. So I don't care about whatever plans and projects is going on and this one and that one and the education system. You got the ability to create your own education system. I'm teaching people how to create their own economy. We're attacking the poverty issue by attacking the mind. Poverty is a mental disease. When it takes over people and it cripples us and our world disintegrates. So we're attacking the poverty situation by attacking the mind. We're attacking the homelessness by creating ways for people to have sustainable sources of income, jobs that will sustain themselves, and then we can create housing. We're doing it right now, right? So that's why Masternomics is a key sponsor, right, for the Cultural Oneness Festival, which is creating homes in Ghana. We're signed on, and we have the land, and we have the land agreements to create homes in Ghana. And guess what? Right here in the United States, we're doing the same thing. Masternomics was the key sponsor for the Phoenix Land Development Project, which is right here in Alabama. And we're creating a community and creating housing and creating schools and creating forms of income that can help human beings live here on this planet, because we got a lot of land that's not being utilized. And so we have these programs and these plans. So the world, forget all the doom and gloom, forget what they say and the economy gonna do that. Forget all that they say. I'm talking to you. What are you gonna do? And for the religious people that you know, if you're very much, if you're into that Bible the way it is, then read it, because it tells you man can't live by bread alone. You will live by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God, right? And who and what are you? You are divine in the flesh, as Jesus said, ye are gods, right? So what words are coming out of your mouth? And who are you listening to? And who's indoctrinating you? And are you creating or are you disintegrating right now? So if you're not controlling where you lay in your head, if you're not making a move to control the money that's coming in your household, you are disintegrating, right? But you got to get back to that creative state, because that creative state is creation, the action or process of bringing something into an existence. Bring into existence right now your liberation, your financial security. Invest in something that has value and will appreciate in time and not depreciate. Invest in yourself. The best investment you can make in life is investment in yourself. Invest in courses, invest in books, knowledge, whatever that will help you develop mentally, right? That's where we're at on this planet right now, right? It's time for us to wake up Wake up. Wake up and get to that reality of who and what you are. Take advantage of the opportunity that you have. Take advantage of the breath that you have. Like I said, to live 70 years is to live 4,004 weeks. You do the math. If you're 35 years old, you done lived half of that. How many more weeks do you have? 2002 or whatever? Weeks? So when you look at it like that, it gets real to you. And the reason why we're not living our days for the betterment of not only ourselves, but the ones that we created. Because if you got some children in this world and you ain't creating nothing, no form of generational wealth, you don't have a plan, don't have an investment, anything to leave them, what did you do with your time that you had here on the planet? I can tell you what I did a lot early in my life: party, bullshit, wasted time. But I did a lot of study and a lot of research, even as a young person, because something was in me. I was blessed to have people that put something in me. And you've been blessed too. Everybody's been blessed. I don't buy that argument. Oh, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. You got enough sense to stop at the red light. There was always somebody that was in your life telling you you need to do better for yourself. But now you at this reality, and we at this economic shift, and people are scared. People want more money, not knowing will there be money, whatever. I'm gonna tell you, no matter what there is, there will be you. How will you fit into society? When I teach entrepreneurship, I teach it from the root word, dealing with what it is. We are solving problems. And they'll tell you entrepreneurship is people that take more financial risk and they put money here and there. The biggest risk is not to bet on yourself. That's the biggest risk you can make. That's so risky to put your finances and your life and your livelihood in the hands of another man for your whole life, hoping that that business stays in order and you don't get fired, hoping that that business don't get belly up. That's the most riskiest thing, is to not bet on yourself. I bet on myself over and over and over again my whole life. And when I lost, guess what? I lost. But I didn't lose my life. There was always a way for me to recreate myself and reinvent myself. Some people go from job to job, and I say, well, why aren't you at that job you was there? Oh, they laid me off. So you're letting somebody else dictate your life. One man laid you off, fired you, and then you just went to another one and said, oh, he fired me. Can I come work for you? You're a creative being. So I tell people, listen, if you want it simple, if you don't want to be pushed, I ain't the one to talk to. Don't check this channel out, right? But if you want some money, if you want financial freedom, if you want to change the life of your family, if you a man, a woman, if you're a woman and you got multiple kids and you in your 30s, if you just want to play around and let all the young fools look at you and then you're gonna have more babies, this and that, you don't want no discipline, this ain't for you. But if you're ready to take your life to the next level, this is for you. So Masternomics is that. It's mastery and economics, right? Mastering those laws, the laws that govern your life, right? The only constant is change. The only thing we know for sure is change will come. You will change the physical condition you're living in that you call physical life. It will end. What have you done with the time that you have, right? What have you done specifically financially and economically to better the lives of the children you have created? Have you taken time to do that? Have you taken time to better your life? You know, if you have a wife or a husband or whatever, what are you doing to better your situation? So add value, service, and add value. If I can leave you with anything, serve more people, add more value. Whatever relationship you're in life, add value to the relationship. Master yourself. Stop worrying about things that are outside of you that you cannot control and worry about what you can control, and that's what's on the inside of you, right? Support Masternomics, support our initiatives, Phoenix Land Development right here in the United States. Support the Taste of Africa, which created the Cultural Oneness Festival. You can go to culturaloneness.com and learn about it. Support Masternomics. The Cash App is $Masternomics. And when you support Masternomics, you can see what we support. We support communities all over the globe. So Masternomics is a school. Right now, we're building a school. We've been granted land by the Paramount Chief in Northern Ghana, the Tolan traditional area, Paramount Chief has granted us land. And so we have a school where we're actually renovating the school. And the school is for entrepreneurship. The school is to show people how to change their financial condition and change their economic condition by changing their mind first. So this is an education platform, and we teach self mastery, personal development, and entrepreneurship. So when you support us, that's what you're supporting, right? And we have that. We have the plans, which you will see the plans that we have for the Seed of Life Multi-Center that's right here in the United States. And if you research, you can Google the O.W. Gurley Community Center, which was created by myself and my wife, right, who's my partner and my accountability partner, right? And we created a community center. In the community center, we had different forms of businesses that we showed people how to start businesses and things of that nature. But now we're taking that same concept and we're expanding it, and we're coming back more with the more teaching aspect to teach the entrepreneurship and various different aspects. I mean, we're talking about from construction to cosmetology, like various different aspects to teach entrepreneurship, but to teach it and to give it to people that want to make the investment in actually becoming the business owners and changing and creating sustainable sources of income. So when you support Masternomics, that's what you're supporting. So we appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, share this information. And like I said, this is one of many. You can go to Masternomics on YouTube, Masternomics on every social media platform, but on YouTube, we have a lot of these classes and information sessions that I've done, and I've done a lot on the laws of the universe and how they pertain to us everyday life and in business. So this is what we're about. This is what we do, a moment in mastery. Thank you. I'll see you again soon.